What's up guys, Chris here. I'm here with my friend Nate, and we're going to be talking about how emotions affect your health, either in a positive or a negative way. We're going to get into a bit more of self-help, or I don't know if that's the right term for it, but like self-growth topics on the channel here to mix in with the health stuff. Just I want to share some of my own beliefs and worldviews and that sort of thing with you guys, because I know a lot of you are interested, you've been asking for it. So today we're actually going to be talking about emotion and the idea that you can not only manipulate your emotions to have the experience that you want, where you are no longer a victim of the outside world around you, but you are the conqueror of your own world, but also how that's going to impact your health in a positive way. So Nate, can you explain a bit about just the concept of a state emotion and where that can get somebody?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So there are basically two categories that I like to think about. There's regenerative emotions. There's emotions like gratitude and joy and peace, or it's inspiration, right? When you feel a certain way, your body is actually more likely to heal itself. And the reverse side of that, the other side of that is like the high level of cortisol related things that are like fight or flight and fear and those kinds of things. And it seems that those, based off all the research that we've been looking at, Dr. Joe Dispenza has put out there and published it along with some other stuff, that we've seen that those fight or flight emotions seem to impact aging and all the stuff that happens with the body when it's not time to focus on growth and repair, right? So, yeah.
It's really, the emotions are like an analog to your hormones, essentially. Your hormones, there's a biological basis and a psychological basis for these states, and they correlate. It's a lot of, it's basically in line of what we talk about with, you want to have a nice hormonal balance, but you can manipulate your hormonal balance via intentional emotion change, and vice versa. You can have a better emotional state because of the biological basis that you've established.
It's a feedback loop, right?
It's a feedback loop, right? Just like the endocrine system in general, and the body works on feedback loops. But I think it's really powerful when people begin to realize that they have control of this. Like, you're not a victim to the world around you. You have complete control to feel however you want to feel.
We were talking about this earlier, right? Like, the brain likes to generalize in order to condense information and make moving through the world more efficient, right? So if somebody is used to stepping into the workplace and feeling stressed out, what they're doing every time they do that is they're training their brain and body, their mind-body system, to do that more, right? And the more often they do that, the less productive they become. And then, of course, they become addicted to those emotions, and then they start to generalize those emotions into other areas of their life, right? So it's the practice that you're talking about of becoming very aware of how you feel, and then asking yourself important questions, interesting questions like who should I be in this situation? What outcome do I want to create? And if I was to create that outcome, how would I feel, right? So if I was in a workplace or a workplace environment and let's say I was maybe feeling stressed out or kind of aggressive, you might see that in the workplace sometimes, somebody's being a little bit aggressive, and why are they acting that way? And if they were to flip that and go from a place of inspiration, how would that impact things, right? Not only their health in general, but the outcomes that they want to create, And it's that practice, right?
Meditation plays a big role in this, like setting down an intentional time every day where you're not only breathing and oxygenating your cells, but you're also setting an intention for the day that you want to have. And that kind of control that you end up having over your day means a lot. And especially if you do it every day, you start to get places that you weren't going before.
So to be present when you close your eyes and when you're present with yourself, right? When the program is running, that default network is starting to fire off all the stuff from yesterday and the day before, and trying to figure out what's going to happen next, so it can predict the future and feel safe, right? So to practice, to start to play it out there in your place when you're quiet and you're aware of where you're at this moment, and you just start to practice, like if you're an astronaut or an athlete, who do I want to be today, right? Yeah. How do I want to think? If I was to succeed today in the most epic way, how would I feel? Can I try that on now? So then I show up as that person, right?
Yeah, and that gets down to the time collapsing stuff. That's what Ed O'Keefe actually wrote a book called Time Collapsing recently. But it's that exact concept. You can do that today. Picture who you want to be 50 years from now. Like, who are you then? Just collapse time into that, better version, and you can make that happen in however much time.
And the interesting thing about the brain, right, is that it's looking for a direction in order to align itself with a goal, right, to protect the entire system. So if you give it an ideal future, it's more likely to reach it. If not, it's going to reference the past, right? And that has its place. So you want to take your learnings from the past, that's all good. But most of the time, if you want to get intentional about this process of evolving, then you got to keep looking forward, right? And a neat practice that we've talked about sometimes in the office, and is just taking a few minutes when you're changing gears or changing activities and asking yourself a question, like simple questions like, how did I do in that moment? Is there some, what did I do well? What am I going to do better? How did I feel? If I was the most ideal person I can imagine, how would I have played that out, or how would I have felt in that experience, And so you just start creating that short-term reflection, and then you get to practice again, right? Until you become that person. And then what's interesting about that evolutionary process is from every new ideal that you have, every new experience that you have of yourself, you get a new one. Because from that, like, it's almost like, so there's 7 floors in this building, right? It's almost like in each floor you get a different perspective. It was nice there, right there on the, the 3rd floor down there. But from here you get a completely different view, and then with that you get a new vision,
Yeah, guys, if you want more videos on this kind of stuff, we've got a lot of ideas, and I would love to share just tips that can help you in your life to just become a better version of yourself instead of reverting to the past. Just always looking forward to becoming better, not just health-wise, but psychologically, mentally. It's all together. You can't isolate one or the other. So let me know in the comments below. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more like it, subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.